Hi, I'm Dr. Arjan Khalsa. I'm a chiropractor, craniosacral therapist, and health coach in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've been in practice for over 25 years, and I love helping people. I love alchemizing the things I've learned through research, studying, watching, listening, and working on people and passing it along to you. So today I'm going to talk about the warm fuzzies. And I know this is sort of like a silly term that we probably use when we're kids, but warm fuzzies are those things we feel in our heart when we feel happy. When we have my son's puppy who I'm throwing the ball to over and over, and he comes back and drops it at my feet with a smile, or I'm watching him and he's throwing the ball up for himself and catching it, or my 3-year-old niece comes and runs up and gives me the biggest hug ever, or I'm having a great conversation with my friend over a tea and I leave just feeling so happy and amazing. And we've all experienced this, right? I think the warm fuzzies, to me, and why I like using this word, is because I feel like it's this glow that we get in our heart. And when we have that glow, I feel like it actually supports our entire health. Our heart actually has the greatest amount of electromagnetic frequency in our entire bodies. So when we get that heart to work, to glow, to light up, it actually heals our entire systems. So I want to have you just take a moment, because most of us are living in our heads. We're living out of fear, guilt, anger, shame, whatever those things are. All those are what we call like negative or low vibration emotions, and they tend to take energy from our heart and they come down and they start actually draining energy from us. So it's actually harder to heal when we have these negative emotions constantly running through our head. It makes us feel heavy. We actually get depressed because it's a way that our brain starts creating a wiring, and so we start wiring around guilt, anger, shame, fear. And so it actually leads to anxiety and eventually to depression, because we're training our brains, our bodies. Those are the things that we feel. So when we have this lower negative emotions, it drains our energy. So we want to bring the energy back up. And I'm not saying everything's rainbows and butterflies in the world, because I know there's a lot going on. We know that stuff's been going on for thousands of years. I'm not saying don't pay attention to those things, but I'm saying don't make this your primary way of being, because when that's your primary way of being, it's so draining. I don't think anybody can keep up with that level of negative emotions and stay healthy. So what we want to do is bring that attention, that joy, that warmth into our hearts and build that heart muscle so it can pump blood, it can continue pumping for us and be healing for us. So when we create warm fuzzies, because we can say all day long, I am great, I am good, I am strong, and those things are really great, but unless you really feel it, it's not going to have as big of an impact. So, and if you want more information on this, there's tons of stuff out there now. Joe Dispenza is great at this, the dynamic neural retraining system. We'll post some of these links in the notes below. There's tons of information on this. I'm making this really, really short for our purpose right now. So I wanted to do a quick exercise with him. You can do this anytime throughout the day, but the best way to override that negativity is to bring those warm fuzzies into your heart. So those examples I just brought up, I want you to just close your eyes for a minute. And first of all, just feel your body. And this, for some of you, this is going to be really easy. You're used to it. You're meditators, and other people, this is going to be a little more challenging. But just take a moment. I'm going to go through different areas of your body with you and just tune into those. So notice your eyes, your head, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, stomach, going into your pelvic bowl, your thighs, knees, calves, and feet. Now, bringing attention to all those different areas, now I want you to go back to anything that stood out to you. Did your heart stand out to you? And let's just go to that point, because it's a good example. Go to your heart first off, because we want to actually change this in just a second. So when you're tuning into your heart, are you feeling, is it warm? Is there a color to it? So I want you to notice the quality, and you can apply this to anywhere in your body, but we're going to be doing the heart right now. So is there a color you can associate with your heart? Is it dark in there? Is it light? Is there a color like green or pink or blue? And then do you have a word you can describe it? Does it feel happy? Does it feel hollow? Does it feel like it's fast or slow? And then how does it make you feel when you tune into your heart? Do you feel exuberant? Do you feel those warm fuzzies in there? Are you feeling sad? Is it feeling broken? Hopeless? There's no right or wrong answer here. This is your own experience. And just take a deep breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. One more deep breath. And exhale. And now what I would like you to do is take a memory that you have. It could have been something today. It could have been something from 10 years ago. It could have been 5 months ago. Recall a memory that where you felt so happy, you felt alive, you felt loved, you felt seen and heard. And I want to call this, without getting too out there, but feeling like one with the universe, because I feel like when we have that heart-centered openness, it's like being connected, right? We feel connected and we feel happy. And when we're in that place, then we have that feeling of love for humanity, for animals, for what we have, that gratitude. I know gratitude's a big practice right now. But gratitude is saying the words, but also I think a lot of the missing component I've noticed when people talk about gratitude is that feeling. So bringing that feeling into your heart. Heart math is also a good tool. If you're interested in that, talks a lot about this heart math. So that's where a lot of these things I'm talking about, where I've become aware of all of this too. So take a moment. Do you have your memory yet? For me, we were on the lake on Saturday with my paddle boards and some of my girlfriends and our kids that we've all raised together. They're 18, 19, all heading off to college. And the water was beautiful. The sky was bright, bright blue. There weren't any motorboats. It was just paddle boards and kayaks and people fishing and sitting under the cottonwoods. We have these big, huge trees in New Mexico along the river called cottonwoods. They're my favorite trees. So we were out there and I just had the best day. My friend made this beautiful spread of food. She had peaches from her trees. She had cherries. Our kids were there. I was out on the paddle boards with my girlfriends, laughing and talking, and it just felt so comforting. And some of these people I haven't seen in a couple of years, and I was so happy to see them. I was so happy to see some of these kids I haven't seen since they were 11 or 12, and now they're in college, and I felt so happy. So that's the memory that when I'm feeling that, my heart's lighting up. Like I'm feeling this glow now, and then it's coming in. I can feel it start going through my whole body. That's what you want. Find that memory, even if you have to dig deep. And maybe you don't have that glow just yet, but something that maybe brings a little bit of a smile to your lips. Focus on that. And what I'd like you to do is just sit there with it for a moment. Feel it spreading. And if you need to breathe, sometimes bringing that inhale, bringing the breath up will help also feed your heart as well. It's bringing energy from those lower centers up into the higher centers, which is what we want. And just hold that. Hold it. And once you have that, this is what you want. And you want to do this. This is retraining your brain and your body. So every time you do this, if you can sit with this, I'm going to stop this lecture, this talk in just a minute because it's getting long and I want you all to I want to make this accessible for all of you. But as a practice, if you can continue doing this 1, 2, 3, 5 times a day, however much, even if it's a minute a day, do that and start retraining yourself. But the longer you can do it, if you can stay in this for 10, 15, 30 minutes to an hour, keep practicing this. It's going to retrain your brain. It'll retrain your body. And because of that, it's like when you plant a garden, right? The more good stuff, you have more cucumbers and tomatoes and corn, there's less room for weeds. So it's the same thing with us. The more we can plant the good stuff, it starts just by nature, the bad stuff doesn't have any roots anymore. It starts pulling out the roots because we're not watering it, we're not feeding it. And we really want the good stuff to start growing in you. And that's what's going to create health for you, because you're going to start keeping the energy to yourself. When you're growing that energy in your heart, you're growing that energy in your entire body. So I hope this helps. I would love to hear from you. If you have anything positive, I don't really want to hear the trolling people. I'm gonna get rid of you if you're on there. But would love to hear stuff from all of you who are out there who this was a good experience from. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up, and in the comment section, let me know what kind of things you do want to hear about. Thank you so much for your attention, and happy healing. Love you. You've got this.